pause with it. I always say no, because then it clears everything out of there if something's still stuck. So I always go no, and then it's just going to ask you for the code, which is right here. So it's 871. It shows you hockey, and then it asks you if you want to use a penalty timeout. It really doesn't matter. I always just hit yes, so it's in there. And you'll see it'll start with your zeros. Remember, anytime you want to do something with time, you always want to hit the set button first. So set, and it'll come set, time with it, and if it's 12 minutes, you put in 12, and you want to make sure you take it all the way into the 10th of a second, because if you don't, it'll count. It won't show the tenths of a second up there with it, so you always want to add it. It'll ask you yes or no. If you're doing warm-ups, you always need to start with like a 0 and then a 5, because it'll always populate left to right on there with it. So we'll just do 5 minutes on there. Yes, it'll ask you what period, 1, and then it's set, and you can see you got your 5 minutes up there. This starts it, stops it. This middle button is the horn, so stay away from it. That's the one thing that people will always bump on there from time to time. Well, that's not good. There we go. No. So we're running on it. We stop. Scores. There's 2 ways to put scores up on the board with it. You can go set, and you can do home score, and then you can put in 0, 1, whatever you want. That's one way to do it. And then hit yes. Same with the guest score. You can do it the same way. Set 0, yes. If you want to add goals, you can also just click home score. It'll give you the plus sign, and you just add to it, and it'll add 1. So just 1 every time to add it. Now, you can still go back. So say you put it on the wrong side. It should be 2-1 instead of 3-0. Set, home score, and it's a 3, you just change it to a 2. And it'll change up there. Yes, and then because you wanted to put it on the other side, yes, score, 1, now you fixed it. Okay? The biggest thing on that is if you make a mistake with the goals up there, people start to rush to try and change it because all the people are screaming at you from the stand. Just slow down. You'll get it fixed. Yeah, just ignore them. You'll get it fixed. You know, because you know what? Inevitably, you're going to put the penalty time on the wrong side. That happens with it. And I'll tell you what, this here, the officials are much of the problem. They don't wait. They're not patient. If you don't have something up there and they drop the pump, warn them and have them wait. They should be looking at the board, waiting for the penalty to go up, and they don't. They are not patient with it. So don't hesitate to horn them over with it. Okay. All right. So penalties. That's the.
Go back to the score.
Sure.
Every time you just have 1.
Yeah. So here, and I'll let you guys play with it here so you can see.
When you showed the mistake, though, you put 2.
To change it from 3 to 2. That's the manual. If you just want to add a goal, so you do just see the home score, you click it, and anytime it says plus, you just add the 1, and it will add to it. Okay, as you go. Penalties. This is the one where people really get slowed up, and there's also a direction sheet right here for you too, if you need to. Okay, so with penalties, you look over here. So if the home team takes a penalty, you click home penalty. See how it shows that set. You can do set because it's time. Anytime you do time stuff, it's always set first. So set, home penalty, and it's going to ask you for the minutes. Just like on there, because it's 2, you got to do a 0 first, then 2, then 0, 0. It's going to ask you for a yes or no, and then it asks you for a player. One of the nice things with our board is we don't put the numbers up there. So when I do penalties, I just do 1-1. Because who cares what the penalty number is that's in there? And you can see it goes up as 2 minutes, and it starts and stops as you start and stop the clock. Okay? The single penalties are fine. It's when you start getting multiple penalties in there. So you do it the exact same way. So set, home penalty, we'll do 2 minutes in there. Oh, this board is sticking. That's good to know. Come on. Okay, so yes. Uh-oh. Set. Penalty. There we go. Yes. What it won't do, because player 11 is already up there, it won't let you put 11 in because they've already got it. So now we've got a penalty up there, but we have number 11 in twice as if he got a double penalty. So if you ever need to clear a penalty, see how you click home penalty? It shows you that's the first penalty. There's the second penalty. It shows 2 minutes. I want to clear it. So I go to penalty clear. Yes, because I made a mistake. That first penalty stays up. Okay? So set home penalty. We'll put in 2 minutes like we did before for number 22. Now we have both up there. The beautiful thing with the older kids, when they start getting 3 and 4 people in the box, the third penalty doesn't start. You can only have 2 penalties going at once. That's why there's only 2 up. That third kid's penalty doesn't start until the first penalty is over. So you still enter it in.
So he actually gets a longer penalty?
Yes, his penalty does not start until that first one does. So yes, technically it is a longer penalty with it. So this board, this is not good. I'm gonna have to talk with them. This keeps sticking. So
Say they send 3 kids to the box simultaneously. One of them serves like a 4-minute penalty.
yeah, that's pretty much the way that it goes. Okay, yes, we'll put 33 in there. And so see how it doesn't go up? Once it starts and we run down, once that first penalty goes off, it'll clear. The bottom one will stay, and a new 2-minute penalty will come up there with it. That's the older kids where we start getting into a lot of those where you have multiple penalties that are going on.
You kind of entered that while the clock was running.
You can. So like for option games where it's a running clock, the way that you do it is this. You go to set, and this is good to know for tournaments if there's a running clock in like for travel teams in the third period. So you go to set and you go to guess penalty. You put in your time just like we did. 0, it's yes. You always have to put 2 numbers in. So even if it's number 5, it would have to go 0-5. So you put 1 number, it hasn't gone up. When the puck drops is when the penalty starts. I hit my 11 and it goes up on the other side. So if you have an option team where they play with the running clock in the first 2 periods, you don't enter that last number until the puck gets dropped. Okay? It's the easiest way to do that. Now, it's a power play and a goal scored. Kids coming out, okay? Because the penalty is over. So the clock is stopped. This is where you go into the home penalty. We're clearing the first penalty, right? Because that's the penalty that would clear for the goal being scored. So we're there. We go to penalty clear, yes. And it clears. See how it put the next 2-minute penalty that was still in the system up there. So this will track all of that stuff as long as you enter it in as you're going. But the biggest thing is anything time-wise, it's set first. That's the one thing, because that's what throws everybody off. Anytime it's time, it's set and then time. And don't be afraid to horn the officials and have them slow up for a second to get it in there, because it makes life easier for coaches and fans when they can see the penalty on the board. Because if the penalty's not on the board, then they have to keep reminding, oh, there's 30 seconds left in the penalty. It's easier if you see it up on the board. Okay? And like I said, you always have the direction sheet right here. Okay? With it. I am going to let them know, hopefully. They said they were ordering new boxes. That was a year ago, and obviously new boxes haven't come in. So I will talk with them on that. But that's really it in terms of the clock. The clock to me is very straightforward as long as you slow yourself down. It's when you rush yourself, that's where those mistakes occur. And like I said, you put the wrong time on the wrong side with it. So if I put that 2-minute on the wrong one, I can go into home penalty. It's this one here. I want to clear it, yes, and it clears out, and then you just go enter it in on the guest side. So that's your clock in a nutshell with it. I think this is a very friendly clock. I've done them in multiple arenas around here, and they are much more complicated and having to put players' numbers up on the boards and stuff. This doesn't have to do it. All right?
Thank you.
All right. I'm always around if you guys